The story of amateur divers was all too familiar to the sheriffs. History had repeated itself at Eagle's Nest. That night, a rescue team was sent out to retrieve the bodies. The sun was just 6 feet away from exiting the entrance shafts, while the dad was found at around 130 feet. Both of their tanks had ran out of oxygen, and the gauges showed that they had dove more than 230 feet. We're not sure what happened next, but we do know that they ran out of air, and they are likely rushing back to get extra oxygen tanks that were placed at a different place during their dive. At this point, the dad had ran a hose from his oxygen tank to his son's oxygen tank, allowing him to breathe some of his oxygen. They did make it to the tanks, but sadly that did not mean that they were out of the situation. Because of the amount of time and the depth that they reached, they would need extra oxygen to decompress. But unfortunately, even with the oxygen tanks, they would not have had enough time. This likely would have resulted in a bad case of the bends. But even so, the emergency tanks were full and not ever used. Cave diving experts talking about the Eagle's Nest Cave explain that diving at a depth around 300 feet for 2 to 3 hours